Hey folks, ArcadeTurtle here, and I heard some of you wanted to know how to do what I do, so let's talk about it. So if you remember in my last vlog, I was seen working on a huge restock. I'm actually still working on that one now. All the footage you'll see next will also be me working on it. I always take pride in the fact that I hand make everything in my shop, and I love being able to share that with you all and to share that everyone can do it too. If you want to start selling your art but don't know where to start, here are a couple of ideas I recommend getting into. Also, most of what I do is pretty affordable to start out doing and can be pretty profitable too. I do want to preface this though by saying that in order to apply most of the examples here, you will at least need a printer. The good news for stickers though is that the quality of the print isn't so important, as most of the time it's too small to notice. The bigger or more detailed the print, the more important specs will become, but for starting out and for stickers especially, any printer will do. I wouldn't worry too much, but I do trust brands like Epson and Canon. I actually started out with a random used Kodak printer and everything printed out great. I don't recommend Kodak though, since they don't really produce much ink or support for their printers as far as I know. But now I have an Epson EcoTank printer, and if you can afford it, I highly recommend this one.
This first example, however, can work with or without a printer. It can even work without a computer. It all depends on what you want to do, and that's the magic of zines. Zines are a great way to sell your art. There's no right way to make a zine. I've seen all kinds from fanzines to art zines to mini comics to sketches. You can draw them up without any use of special programs too. Following a simple 8-page zine tutorial or a quarter zine tutorial on a paper, and then you can scan and copy at the library. If you want to get a little fancy or use digital art, I highly recommend Electric Zine Maker. Electric Zine Maker is an app available on itch.io that has templates available that you can click and preview if you're not sure what they look like. They even include how to fold instructions. It's helpful if you struggle with page layout like me. Of course, if you want to add more pages than what's shown, like in my quarter zines, you do have to mess around a little bit with layout. And to do that, I make a dummy zine out of paper and figure it out from there. It's a lot of trial and error, but very rewarding once you figure it out. I also just don't understand layouts in general, so maybe you won't have such a tough time like me. From there, you can just save your zine as either an image or a PDF. And if you don't have a printer, same deal. You can just take these to your local library and print on regular paper. I print mine at home so I can get a little fancy with the paper, and I print them on brochure paper or a thin, double-sided glossy paper, similar to those found in magazines or comics. The ones I currently use has a texture I'm not a huge fan of, but I'll keep using these until I'm out of it, and I'll try a different brand. And until then, they work great and show my art and its colors really well. I will also warn that ZineMaker does downgrade the quality of your images a little bit and makes them a tiny bit pixelated. And if your image isn't set to the size of the panels, you might have to stretch the image, and that can also mess with the quality of it overall. In my case, mine are meant to be squared images that get stretched to long rectangular images, causing a slight distortion. Overall though, I'm having a fun time making zines, and the ZineMaker app does help streamline my process. I 100% recommend, and as you can see here, the quality still looks great despite what I said earlier, simply because the size being small helps offset a lot of the quality issues. For starting out, this is a really fun, easy, and affordable way to start selling art, with a starting cost of even $0 that anyone can do. Buttons are also very affordable and can be done with or without a printer. The actual button maker itself would be the biggest investment, but they can be affordable, and most kits come with buttons as well. I also use templates that I've purchased on Etsy for about $3 or less to help streamline the process. I do this by searching my button maker brand and then just by adding template. From there, I just design my buttons on Procreate with the template to help guide me. Alternatively, some templates, like mine, also allow use on Canva, so you can just upload the image onto it. And you can print on regular paper, as it will be in a protective shell once pressed, so you can also just print these at the library. For these recent arcane ones, I used the laminate over the regular paper to give it the hollow effect, and you can also do the same. It's all experimentation for your tastes. Stickers, on the other hand, you will need a printer, unless your library lets you change the printer it's being printed on. Like I said earlier, the quality won't matter much for stickers, so it's still pretty affordable. I've seen a good Canon Pixma go for as low as $50, but typically stays below $70. I do use an Epson EcoTank and I do highly recommend it, as it's not only high quality, but the ink also lasts forever. For sticker paper, I use Joyusa brand. I also wanted to try this brand since I had a lot of good reviews, but it has these little diagonal lines in the paper that the laminate likes to stick to. And although it's not super noticeable, I personally don't like it. It is a nice and thick feeling sticker paper, and the quality of my print feel really nice, but I don't know. So once I print my stickers, I laminate them. There's many kinds you can use. I mainly use this one for a clear glossy look, but there are all kinds of holographic and pattern kinds of paper. I suggest exploring based on your tastes and needs. The brands for these don't matter as much, just make sure it's a cold laminate or self-laminating, otherwise it will only work with a thermal machine. Next, it's time to cut stickers. When I first started, I used to hand cut my stickers. It takes a lot of time, but it's definitely doable. I recommend starting off with smaller stock if you go to the hand cutting route. And make sure to stretch your hands and take breaks. Of course, you could also invest or save up for a cutting machine and make it a lot easier on yourself and your body while speeding up the process. I used the Brothers Scan and Cut, and it's honestly my favorite and highly recommended choice. It does everything your regular cutting machine can do, except it has a built-in scanner, so no need to make cutting lines, although you can if you want to, and depending on the project you might want to. So I literally just print and then place on the mat, and then feed it through the machine, which then handles the rest. Here's another little tip. These mats tend to lose their tackiness over time, and if you want to save some money, and as long as the mats are in pretty decent condition, you can just clean the mat with soap and water, let it dry, and then you can use this glue and apply it on the mat itself and make it sticky again. I followed another creator who explained it all in her tutorial, but just know it might cancel out your warranty. It's a risk, but it's always worked out fine for me, and for that creator. Voila! You got stickers that are waterproof and perfect for water bottles or laptops. I hope I've given you some insight on how to make your own merch at home at an affordable yet profitable way. If you want any more in-depth tutorials, please let me know. And if you're wondering what I'm doing now, I'm working on my handmade pins. I didn't include these because it does take a lot more investment, but I can also do a tutorial if interested. I use a combination of printable shrink plastic and resin to make these. Oh, and this little guy, he's my new fave productivity tool. This is Rusty's Retirement, a fun little idle game that lives on the bottom of your screen and works while you work. He's a little robot who works on his little farm and makes other little robots to help him too. You should check it out on Steam, especially if you like Pomodoro techniques and or co-working.
They sit at the bottom of your screen. They've had a busy life and are now resting their bolts on the open range. Help Rusty tend to their farm, grow crops to build a green utopia. Rusty's realized how sometimes you might want to dedicate your time.
Anyways, I hope I can complete this restock by mid-March, probably by the time this video goes up. I want to get myself ready for markets and other events. I'm also just generally ready for everything next with ArcadeTurtle. I got commission work, streams, I'm getting ready for my second stream test now with different settings, and I'm getting ready for this year's Rainbow Road Market. Last year, a friend and I made this pop-up and it was a huge hit. We and the community are ready for another, so I've been reaching out to local venues trying to find a spot for the next one. If you want to know more, I'll share the Insta in the description as well. You can learn all about the Rainbow Road Market and what it means to the community and what we do for it as well. Well, enough yapping. I gotta get back to work. I can't wait to check in with you all again next month. Bye!